So I almost just got human trafficked at Walmart. Y'all need to be careful out here. I'm telling you.
Y'all know that saying that's like, you never know what you do in a situation until it happens to you?
So I ended up leaving some other stuff just to get one thing, right? So while he was there, I said, hey, can I tell you something? Then he said, well, what's going on? I said, this man had been like following me for almost an hour now. And I said, I don't see him now, but for like an hour, I've been walking back and forth between aisles so I can try to avoid him. The time is about to run out. So I could try to avoid him. And at
So I almost just got human trafficked at Walmart. Y'all need to be careful out here. I'm telling you. Let me tell you what happened. So I'm going to park, right? And I notice everything. I'm always alert of my surroundings. So obviously I'm coming down the aisle to like look for parking or whatever. And then all the way down, there's a car parked facing forward. It's like a Beamer, like a new Beamer. And I'm like, I noticed it because I see the front and the front looks mean. So I'm like, damn, that's a nice ass grill. Whatever. Boom. Mind you, minding my business. Go find my parking spot, like right in the next aisle. Boom, I park. I get off the car. I start walking into Walmart, right? Beamer pulls up next to me. It's a guy. He rolls the window down. Hey, beautiful. You think you can help me really quick? I'm lost. But in Spanish, because he doesn't know English. He's like, hola, bonita, blah, blah. And I'm like, first of all, weird. I'm not even coming up to, like, I'm not getting close or nothing. So I stay at a really good distance. And there was people walking in and out. Thank fucking God, because I was right there, like almost close to the entrance. And he's like, oh, can you help me out? Can you help me find this address? He names like an area that we're already in, you know? And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, you're close by. You just gotta go like whatever. And then he's like, oh, okay, it's just that I don't know where I'm not from around here. I'm from Homestead, he tells me. And I'm like, okay. And then I look at him and I'm like, you don't got GPS though? I mean, you're driving a brand new Beamer, so how you don't have a car with, I mean, how you not have a phone with GPS to tell you where to go? And then he looks at me and he like whispers, and he's like, he tries to whisper, but I heard him. But he goes like, yeah, the thing is that she's married. He goes, she's married. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, married? Who the fuck is he talking about? Right? So I'm guessing he's trying to say like whoever he's going to go look for at the address. But it just didn't make sense. And I was just like, okay. And he just kept on repeating, it's just that I'm not from around here. I'm not from around here. And I'm like, well, what are you trying to tell me? Like, what you want me to do? Hop in the car with you? Show you where to go? And then he kept looking at the people that were walking. And I peeped game right away. And I was like, yo, good luck. Good luck finding the address. And I start walking away. He's like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, good luck, right? All right, thanks, beautiful. And I'm like, oh, he wanted me to get close to the vehicle. He think he's slick. He wanted me to get close to the vehicle. Yo, what are you doing? He wanted me to get close to the vehicle so he could probably numb my ass or spray me with something or some shit, or put a gun in me and be like, get in the fucking car, bitch. Oh my God. Let me tell y'all, I was like, oh hell no. I called George right away. I told George what happened. George said, I'm on my way. Stay inside Walmart and don't fucking come out till I get there, bitch. And he showed up, strapped up. Don't play. He don't play. Yo, be careful out here, bro. And it was a good looking man, like in a nice ass car. Like, don't be trusting this shit, bro. My phone keeps falling because I'm driving and I'm trying to tell the story. But y'all be careful out here, man. This shit is crazy. This shit is real. This shit is fucking real. Human trafficking is real, bro. They out here trying to fucking steal women, bro. Children, even men. Be careful. Like, they ain't got no limits, bro. They're trying to sell you for parts.
Y'all know that saying that's like, you never know what you do in a situation until it happens to you? Well, story time. Okay, y'all, so I make it my business to go out of my way to go to this one Walmart that is a little bit further from my house, but it's always stocked up. Like, the people are nicer. It's just overall nicer. And for my folks that are in Tampa, Florida, it's the one right off Gun Highway. Well, tonight I should say like this evening, because it was still kind of light outside when I went in, but it was getting dark when I came out. Well, I went there. I had like a whole little list. I started at produce right at the door when you first come in, and it was packed. From produce, I moved to the meat section, and then from the meat section, I went back to the aisles and started going up one aisle, down another aisle, up one aisle, down another aisle. While I was doing that, I noticed that there was a guy that was in every single area that I had been in, he was in, which wouldn't have struck me as weird. I wouldn't have even paid that much attention to it. But when I reached to get something off of a shelf, I could feel him like closely behind me, so close to where I turned around and was like, oh, like it startled me. And I thought to myself, like, is everything okay, sir? Why are you so close to me? Well, as I moved further and further into the store, now I'm in the back of the store. So I went from produce that's in the front, right when you come in the door, to all the way at the back of the store by dairy. I realized he was there again, which I wouldn't have even maybe paid him any attention had he not been so close to me in one of the aisles. Well, from there, I went to the baby section to get formula, and I realized he was there too, and he was staring right at me. We made eye contact, and when we made eye contact, I realized he didn't have a basket, definitely didn't have a baby to be in the baby section. He also didn't have one item in his hand, but was in every aisle that I was in. Mind you, now I have a whole cart full of stuff. He doesn't have a cart. I mean, he doesn't have anything, and he's just looking at me. Now that we've made eye contact, he like, hurries and tries to get on his phone real quick. Something in my gut, y'all, told me that something wasn't right. And normally I wouldn't pay any attention, not even to just him being where I'm at, but also I normally have both of my kids, and I'm like being pulled in a million different directions. But he was like right there. Every step that I made, he was right there. And as soon as I got that feeling, I saw an employee turn the corner, and I was like, hey, excuse me, do you work here? And she was like kind of hesitant, almost like maybe she was about to get off or something. And I was like, please, I think I'm being followed. So she was like being followed. So I tell her quickly like what happened. And then I was like, yeah, he was just right here. And she was like, where is he now? And as she's saying that, she's like, is this him? And I was like, yeah, look, that's him. And he sees that we both like are looking at him, and he turns around and goes straight down the aisle. So we can see him, but he's like further down. So she's like, I'm about to call security. So she calls security, and when security gets there, I'm telling him what's happening. The guy comes back, but now he's put his hood up. And the guy was like, is this him right there? And I was like, this is him right here. And he kind of is walking towards us. And I'm thinking to myself like, okay, maybe I was tripping because, sir, you being real bold. Well, security, he jumped right on it and he confronts him. I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but I was like, this is uncomfortable. I'm going to go. So I like quickly walk away. I go to the front of the store. I'm, of course, about to check out. And I'm like, dang, I don't even know. Did they get this man to leave? Because I just left. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he's outside waiting on me. I literally have no idea, but my gut is just like something was super weird about this. So I tell an associate, like, can somebody follow me out to my car because I think I'm being followed? And as I'm telling her that, the security is looking for him. Head on a swivel, like just looking around. They go out the store still looking for him. So I'm at this point trying to hurry up and check my stuff out. I was about to leave that stuff, to be honest, y'all, because I'm frazzled. I don't want really anything to do with this. Like, I just want to leave. By this time, the associate that I told at the checkout is nowhere to be found. So I'm about to leave, and as coming out of customer service, I see a guy that I see there all the time. He's there every time I'm there, super high-spirited, and I stopped him, and I was like, hey, I think I'm being followed. Is there any way that you can get somebody to follow me to my car real quick? Like, I'm already checked out. And he was like, oh, is it okay that I can walk you out there? Is that okay? I immediately was like, yes, please. I would love that. So as I'm walking to the car, he was like, so what do you mean? You said somebody was following you? And I was like, I think so. Like, security got involved. And is that something that happens here? Like, has that ever happened here? And he was like, yes, 3 times in the last 2 months. I'm shook. I'm like, 3 times? Y'all need top flight security because this is crazy. He's like, yeah, you're the second person this month to tell me, just me, on my shift. So I can only imagine. And he said, by any chance, was he a tall black guy wearing black bottoms and he had on like a hoodie? I'm shook. I'm like, yes. How did you know that? And he was like, did he have his phone out? I'm like, oh my God, yes, he had his phone out. That was him. How do you know? And he's like, yeah, he's been caught here before. He was probably taking your picture. And I'm like, oh my God. Immediately, I get chills because this man needs to be stopped. Don't get me wrong. Maybe his only intention was to be a creep and to take pictures, which is disturbing. But also, who knows and who was about to wait around to find out what else he might do. This world is just too crazy, and I never thought that something like that would happen to me, much less me reacting the way that I felt like I needed to get security involved and stop all these people and not make a scene, but it just wasn't me. But it immediately made me super uncomfortable. And I'm saying all this to say, I would have never even given this another thought before had I not seen videos of women speaking up and bringing awareness to stuff like this happening in grocery stores and parking lots. It was getting closer and closer to home, but it just goes to show you that pay attention to your surroundings. Ladies, this is real. God only knows how this could have went. And I'm just so grateful that everybody that was involved in the situation was so eager to help. Send this to all your friends and family that live in the area.
Is it cold and flu? I just want regular Tylenol.
It's regular Tylenol, yeah. That's creepy. Yeah, that's...
Is it
It's the regular, yeah.
But it's for 6 to 12. Is that?
No, 6 to 12 infant.
Not 6 to 12. Oh, the infant. Then it might be in the baby section.
In the baby section. Come on, then let's go to the baby. Let's go get the car seat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I've never been creepy.
He said,
I went to go back and see back and kids.
where is the baby section?
No.
Where?
I got that on video. I'm not moving forward this shit, man. This is fucking eerie. You have to do this.
Where is the baby section? Because I don't know where I'm going. Baby stuff? Baby stuff should be down here, right?
The baby stuff is that way.
Is that way?
Bet.
The baby stuff.
Bet.
Where's the baby stuff? Okay, down that way? Come on, let's go. Come on.
Go ahead. If we gonna do this, we gonna do this.
Okay, there you go. See you. Pain and fever? What is this?
You can't make this weird shit up, man. You're freaking weird.
Where'd she go?
We are at Walmart, and this person's car has a duck on it that says number 3.
Abby, you need to show the store that.
Check this out. We're using a bag, go ahead, to pick it up in case it's got fentanyl on it.
Story time to the most traumatic experience of my entire life at Walmart, and why I do not go to Walmart anytime after 9 a.m. because I like to go early on, because I just feel like there's less people at Walmart around that time, and also there's not a lot of, it's daylight, so if anything go down, most people will be out to see it. So I don't go to Walmart like after 5 p.m. And usually if I do go to Walmart, I try to go to like the nicer area, even though bad things can happen in nicer areas too. So I'm going to put my hair in pin curls for the night while I tell you this story. So earlier today, I went to Walmart to go grab something, but this time I just so happened to go late because I was having this stress headache, and I think mainly because of the sun too. I feel like whenever the sun is too hot, I get headaches, but also I felt like I was a bit stressed because of something that happened previously, and I don't want to get into that right now. So let me grab my oil. So this is actually not jojoba oil. It is actually my onion oil that I put with my peppermint to get the onion smell out, so it doesn't smell like onion. It just smells really good, honestly. So anyways, I like to oil my hair at night before I do my pin curls, and I'll show you the end result at the end of the video. So I ended up going to Walmart because I needed something, since I actually fell asleep after, you know, my head was hurting. I lay down watching Extreme Cheapskate on TV. This video is not sponsored by them or anything, but anyways, while I was watching them, I fell asleep. Woke up, it was a bit late, so I ended up going to Walmart because I needed to get this thing for tomorrow, like early tomorrow. So I went there, and as I'm walking at Walmart, this man in the aisle that I was trying to grab my stuff, this man came by. So I'm thinking, because that same second I had stole a cart that had somebody else's stuff in it, but it was abandoned. So I just assumed, you know, oh, maybe somebody just didn't want their stuff and they just left it there. So then I took it, and the man started walking towards me, and I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Did I take your cart? Because there was something on the cart and I had just put the thing down. He's walking up to me as if like he's looking for his cart, because he's like carrying a bag of bread in his hand, right? He looked like he was from the Middle East, the Middle Eastern. And he's like, oh, he's just looking at me. Then he said, oh, no, it's not mine. So I said, oh, okay. So I'm standing there just trying to get my stuff, whatever that I'm looking for in the aisle. I was in the candle aisle. So I'm using pens. So I'm trying to get my stuff, but he's just standing there. And every time like I get to one area, he moves to the other area, but he keeps looking at me and he's smiling. So I was like, well, that's weird, you know. I just thought he was gonna grab something and go, but he's looking at the incense and all that stuff, and I'm looking, trying to find the candle that I need. So I'm parting my hair. I'm trying to find the candle that I need to get out of there, because at this point I'm feeling a little bit uneasy with how he's looking at me. So then he's like, oh, you're so pretty, or something like that, or you're so cute. So I'm like, well, I know, I mean, I look nice, you know, whatever I was wearing, I look really nice. So I'm like, well, thank you, you know, and I just try to keep looking for the candle that I was looking for. So then I just started like acting as if I needed to go get something else. So I kept walking between aisles, and every aisle that I go to, this man just kept following me. And at this point, I'm like, oh my God. And it's been like at least, how's the time? It's been like at least 30 minutes at this point. I'm just walking between aisles. So I went to the electronic section because I know there's a lot of mail there. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna go there and try to see if I find someone that I can just stand next to, right? And he just kept following me, but he's not getting close enough for me to see him, for anybody to see him, but I keep seeing him on the side of my eye because he's wearing like a solid gray shirt. And I keep that in mind. So then when I went to the electronic area, there's just a bunch of other guys there, but they look really young. So I'm like, well, they're probably not going to really mind, you know, whatever. Like if something were to happen, they probably like don't even care, you know what I mean? So then I said, and plus electronic is really, really loud, and I don't want to go into the aisles of electronic. So yeah, I don't want to go into the electronic aisles where it's really loud, TV's playing, radio's playing, whatever. If I'm screaming, I'm thinking all of this is going through my head at the same time. No one can hear me. Of course I'm thinking about stuff like that, right? So then finally I ended up going to the food area, but you know, the food area is so close to the checkout area, you can see if somebody's at checkout. This man is at checkout. Now at this point he's at checkout, but I think he was trying to follow through the aisles to see where I was, but I went to the other side by electronic at that point. But when I went to go to like the food area, I see he's standing at checkout. So I'm like, oh, okay, good, so he's leaving. So then I just went to like the frozen section to look for other stuff, right? I'm just like, at this point I'm just walking out of my cart, acting as if I'm like busy looking for something. I'm like pointing at aisles, you know, trying to make it seem like I'm looking for something. So then at this point, it's been like maybe 30 minutes, and I went back. I'm like, for sure he's already gone at this point. I went back, just only to find out that this man is still there. Like not at this point, he left the checkout area. He didn't even have a bag in his hand, so he didn't even check out that bread that he was holding. at all. But now he's back in the aisles just looking for me. So then I decided to go to the checkout area so I can leave quickly, you know. But I'm like, I don't think that's good because he could follow me out. So then I went and I saw this black guy, and he looked like he's a little, how you doing? And I'm like, hey, you know, I went to the checkout to self-check, and I'm trying to self-check, but then at this point I realized that the self-check does not take the tap, like the phone tap. So I call him over and I'm like, good, now I can find somebody, you know, to talk to and try to report whatever is happening with my checkout thing, and then I could just bring up the situation with the guy. So as I'm like talking to him, I say, hey, this thing is not working. Do you guys not take checkout? Apparently they do not. They only take like Walmart card or whatever. They don't do like the self-check with the phone, with the Google Pay. I didn't know that. I don't really go to Walmart like that, so I didn't know that was nothing at Walmart. So then I said, good, well, does it take cash? But I only had like $5 in my hand, so I really couldn't buy what I needed. So I ended up leaving some of the stuff just to get one thing, right? So while he was there, I said, hey, can I tell you something? Then he said, well, what's going on? I said, this man has been like following me for almost an hour now. And I said, I don't see him now, but for like an hour, I've been walking back and forth between aisles so I can try to avoid him. The time is about to run out. So I could try to avoid him. And at this point, this kid is smiling. He's not really like giving me anything back. He's like, oh, well, all he said was, what did he look like? So I said he looked like, you know, Indian, Middle Eastern kind of. He's wearing a gray shirt. So I'm trying to describe him to the guy. I said, he's wearing a gray shirt. Then the guy said, he smiled. He didn't really say anything. So I was like, okay, well, thank you anyways, because I could kind of tell that he didn't want to deal with that. You know, I could tell that he was basically thinking like, this is above my pay grade. So I'm like, you know what? I would probably say the same thing too, even though I would try to like help out, but I would be thinking like, this is above me. You know what I mean? Because that's like, police have to deal with it, stuff like that. So I almost mentioned to him that, is there someone that can escort me to my car? Because at this point I was kind of worried, right? So then I said thank you anyways, because somebody else was trying to help him. You know those people that stands by the self-checkout to come and help you if you're buying wine or something? Well, he was one of those people. So then I left. I did my checkout. He showed me where I could print out my receipt and then go to a different cart so I can check out with cash. So as I'm checking out, because at this point I have my little receipt, now I can go and pay with cash because I only had the $5 in my hands. I'm actively looking to see where the guy who was following me is, so I can see if he's watching to see which car I'm getting into. So as I'm leaving, I see the guy that I was just talking to at the cash register at the front, and there's a bunch of people sitting by the door. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Then the guy pulled me aside. He said, hey, is that the guy? And I'm like, which guy? You know, not which guy, but he's pointing, but there's so many people standing there. I'm like, which one are you pointing at? He said, oh, the guy in the gray shirt, but that one has like a gray with like stripe. It's like gray, black, gray, black. So I said, no, the guy was wearing like a solid gray shirt. He said, oh, okay. Then when I got closer to the door, I see a bunch of people staring outside, and they looked like something was going on outside. And that's when I realized there's a bunch of cops out there. So I was like, oh, good. Now I can actually try to go to my car while there's cops outside, because now if something's going down, there's cops out there to see it. So then there's like a couple of Spanish people that, like this one beautiful, beautiful Spanish lady, she complimented my dress and everything. Then she was standing there with her husband and I think her sister or something, because they look familiar. They look similar. They look like they could be related. So I said, what's going on? She said, oh, I don't know. So I said, oh, that's crazy, because I hope maybe it's that same guy, because some guy was just following me in the Walmart for like a whole hour. She's like, oh, shoot, really? Well, let me get out of here. So she tried to leave, because now there's a lot of people just looking outside. They're standing inside Walmart, but you know, it's like a see-through window. They're standing inside Walmart, but they're staring outside because cops are everywhere. At this point, there's a man, the man in the gray and black shirt is being chased by the cops outside. And the other guy with the other gray shirt, nowhere to be found.